Welcome back to Under Oath. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Sitting next to me is my good friend, the talented comedian and talented human being.
Thank you, man.
James John.
Feel the same way about you, man. Good to be here as always.
Your son is such a disappointment to me.
Tell them why my son's okay, my son just became a nurse, by the way. Okay, but he's a disappointment.
He's a terrible human being.
To Jeff, because
he's a terrible human being.
Tell him.
I am so disappointed with his son. He is the cardinal sin.
Yeah.
He quit Nike. I don't get my discount anymore.
He did.
Oh.
Jeff has to pay retail. The heresy.
Oh.
Yes. God bless.
When James told that to me,
he was like,
he might
so
as well
mad.
have told me that his son, it was like it was like the last, what's the one, the golden child?
Yes. Like he committed a murder. He killed my.
Wait a minute. He was my connection.
Yeah.
Now I go into the Nike store and pay retail.
Ugh. Who wants to do that?
I buy too much.
So if you're listening or watching and you work at Nike, for only a small fee, you can support Jeff's discount for getting Nikes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you know me, send me your email.
There you go.
Trust me, you're going to need me one day more than I need your shoes.
Ooh, that is so true.
You're going, oh my God, I killed somebody. Ooh, I can call Jeff.
There you go. And I get him a discount.
Yeah.
Jeff, here's some fives. Now listen to me. Hear me out.
Okay.
There you go. Now, I do have a legally screwed question for you, my friend.
Oh, law.
This is good. Law. Yes. You remember that one thing you used to do?
I do.
Every
once in a while.
Now, what am I legally supposed to do when $260,000 just shows up in my bank account uninvited? An unknown sender accidentally deposited that money into my account. I reported it immediately, okay, and haven't touched it. And I want to make sure I don't end up in trouble while the bank figures this out. Money just came there. I didn't touch it. I didn't put it in there, but somebody... Okay, can I answer first? If I find $260,000 in my bank account, the only person I'm going to thank is Jesus when I say, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Because that money just appeared out of nowhere. God wanted me to have that money. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, first off,
yeah.
Here's, when I gamble,
okay,
when I go to Vegas, every once in a while the dealer screws up and hands me more money than I'm supposed to get.
They really do that?
Yeah. Vegas dealers, I love you guys, but you're a mess.
Are they a mess?
They screw up every hour.
Okay.
They make a mistake. Normally they take more money from you or don't pay you out.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they pay you on hands you don't have.
And that's a huge no-no.
Well, I don't want them to lose their job.
No.
And I don't want to take something that's not mine.
Correct.
Because there's bad karma involved in that.
Yeah.
So karma-wise, let's talk about right and wrong. No, it's not yours. You'll pay for it sooner or later. I've seen this stuff flip. And people go, well, Jeff, that's superstitious nonsense. I've seen bad stuff happen to bad people.
Yeah.
I've seen good stuff happen to good people.
Yes.
It just doesn't work out that way. Legally, the answer is hell's no.
Come on, man.
Don't take nothing that you didn't earn. Like ATM, you have people all the time go, oh, I noticed my bag, so I drained my card. That's not your money. It's fraud.
Got it.
You're gonna take something that's not yours, depending on the state you're in. I promise you this: if it's over 1,000, it's a felony in every state. And I'm not giving advice in states I'm not licensed in, but the fact is this: once it hits a certain amount, it's a felony. Okay. Okay. Now that we're on that topic between felony and misdemeanors.
Okay.
Big thing in the news that's going on right now when people are asking, is something illegal?
Which comes up quite a bit nowadays on social media.
Is it illegal? Are they now we're pushing that towards people's immigration status.
Correct.
He's not illegal. He didn't break any laws.
Now, the definition by law is?
The term lawful. Is there a law? And are you violating that?
Mm-hmm.
Illegal, unlawful.
Mm-hmm.
Same term. Okay? Don't mix it. Don't get cute with your language.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I listened to a representative who is a lawyer, who actually worked as a public defender.
Okay.
Say, it's a misdemeanor. It's not a crime.
I've heard that all the time. A misdemeanor is not a crime, right?
You are a lying SOB.
It's not true.
You are a liar. And here's this. Come after me. Please sue me. Misdemeanors aren't crimes. What are you talking about? Why are you lying to the general public?
Okay.
A misdemeanor is a crime, punishable normally by 1 year or less. And sometimes it's punishable by 60 days. In certain states, a second degree misdemeanor is 60 days or less.
Got it.
Normally, it's a year on a first degree misdemeanor. So that we make it clear, almost all DUIs, your first or second DUIs, are first degree misdemeanors. Now, we can all agree that a DUI is a crime.
Yeah.
Petty theft, crime.
Yeah.
Okay, the difference between a felony and a misdemeanor is the level of the crime.
Okay.
For example, in Florida, if I steal $599,
Yeah.
it's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
If I steal $600, it's a felony.
Ooh.
Let's say I take my little gavel and I throw it at James.
Yeah.
And it bounces off him. It's a misdemeanor. Okay. Now let's say this thing weighed 90 pounds and I fractured his melon. That'd be a felony. Okay. So degrees of the crime can increase the penalties.
Okay.
And make it a felony.
Got it.
But if you say to anybody, it's a misdemeanor, there's a difference between a citation, which is like a traffic ticket.
Yeah.
But if you don't show up to court and they find you in contempt, that's a crime.
They coming to get you, by the way. Yeah.
So don't allow yourself to be lied to. And just because somebody says it 50 times, look it up. Misdemeanor is a low-level crime.
Got it.
That's what it is.
It's still a crime.
Yeah. So when you say stuff like that, it just lets you know you're being stupid. Now, I will tell you the opposite end of this.
Okay.
If you say to yourself, I know it's a crime, but I believe I'm morally right. Our country was built on people who chose that option.
That is true.
You know, we are no longer a part of England or
not.
Great Britain.
Nope.
Because we said no mas and we broke the law.
We did.
When what you're fighting for is so strong that you're willing to break the law, I think I would respect that a lot more.
Well said.
Than you trying to tell me, oh, I didn't do anything. I'm allowed to do these things. No, you broke the law, but you believe you were doing it for the greater good. Self-defense is a defense of other category.
Yeah.
And it allows us to argue that we're not responsible for the crime we committed, whether it be a trespass, whether it be killing somebody.
That's right.
I can kill another person if I was defending you or myself.
That's right.
And I felt that I rationally believed that this was an issue. If you want to make that argument, let's make it. But don't make a hokey argument, because I can tell you right now, the people on the other side will be a lot more compelled not to do what they're doing if they know how far you're willing to go. The greatest change in our country happened because of people utilizing their First Amendment rights to protest.
Yes.
We have stopped slavery. We have become an independent country. We have locked in our civil rights. There are so many things we have fought for through protesting and marching that are positive. Now, what's going on in our country now? I think right now we are so opposed politically that that's where we lock it in. We're not locked in for human rights. We're not locked in for right and wrong. One side believes that they're helping other people. The other side believes they're helping other people in our country. So who's right?
History is going to have to tell this one.
The victor goes the spoils. As a lawyer, I can tell you this. If you step in front of any law enforcement agency and stop them from doing something, you are obstructing.
Be very mindful of that.
A man just lost his life.
Yes, he did.
I'm not going to break down the videos. I'm not going to look at 10 videos. If you obstruct law enforcement and you do anything to make them feel like their life is at risk, they normally can respond with deadly force. I've seen people get killed because they had a knife on them, or a bat, or a stick. The gentleman who lost his life had a 9mm gun on him. I don't carry a gun for one specific reason. I don't want it taken from me. And I don't want to do anything because I wasn't in control of the situation.
At that moment.
I'm not trained law enforcement. I was in the military a long time ago. But me carrying a gun around and thinking that it's my duty to stop crime, or that I have that ability to stop a crime and be able to make those split-second decisions that I've never been trained to do, I believe is a mistake. I'm not telling you you can't carry a gun, but I think you should ask yourself what reason you're doing that for. Carrying a gun is a huge responsibility. We shouldn't only argue gun rights when it benefits our point of view.
True.
Gun rights are normally a conservative argument. Very rarely is it made by anybody on the left.
No.
Very rarely have I heard it in the news from the left side that, we're defending the Second Amendment, Normally that's a very conservative argument. We're making it now. because this protester had a gun on him.
Mm.
And law enforcement is like, well, we tried to get the gun away from him and stuff went wrong. That's their argument. Now the argument is, well, he had a right to have a gun on him. I think the first thing that should be passed is this. There should be nobody. If you can't go to a sporting event, you sure should not go to a protest with one.
Then you know what's next after that.
Because you know what happens at a protest?
Yeah.
The other side shows up. It's a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
How many protests do you see where there are people on both sides of the road and something goes wrong?
As a lawyer, tell me what's coming right after that.
Somebody's getting shot.
No. Tell me what else is coming when you make the rule you can't bring a gun to a protest. Then you're going to have to define what's a protest.
What's a protest?
Yes.
Now, here's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of cities require you to file
a permit, right? Or something like that.
To
yeah.
protest. Or you can only protest on public property. You're not allowed to close a road.
No.
So we're clear. We need to be clear. This is with the KKK. This is with Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
This is with everybody.
Yeah.
You are not allowed to break the law during a protest. You can't. It's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You can't close down a public road. You can be arrested for it. Why? Yeah. Because it's against the law. So when you do stuff against the law, stuff is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Like I got pulled over the other day.
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer. Hell no.
Mm-mm.
Here's my license. Here's my registration. You know, I didn't offer up anything like, hey, I know I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything like that, but I complied. Now, I know my rights more than a lot of other people know my rights. But I also know that you have to respect somebody who's in that position.
You know your rights and you still shut up.
Right.
You still...
I don't need to tell him that he was wrong the way he pulled me over. If I want to argue this later, I'll argue this later. That's what court is for.
Yeah.
But if you want to get arrested, that's a whole different topic.
You know, because you're not going to win that fight right there. You told me that. You're not going to ever win that fight with the cop.
You aren't going to win that fight.
Yeah.
And a gun on a person in a hostile situation is a recipe for disaster. It just says, well, I protected myself. Let's play this out. Put it directly into this man's situation. He carried the gun because he felt he needed to protect himself. He got killed because he had that gun on him. Would he have died but for that gun?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But I can tell you one thing. It didn't make him safer. If I'm a police officer and I'm in a hostile situation, and I didn't see any of the videos, though I do know many police officers or law enforcement. I know you're going to say ICE isn't law enforcement. They are enforcing immigration laws based on what they're being told to do.
Yes.
So we're clear. These ICE agents on the road right now are soldiers. They're not leaders. They're being told, you will go here, you will do this.
Yes.
The same way our police officers are told where they're going to be on the streets. They don't arbitrarily choose their neighborhoods. They don't do these things.
They do not.
They're going here. This is your job. The people who are on the streets right now are not doing it because they go, you know, what would be a good idea? They're following their orders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the argument against that is, well, are they illegal orders? No, they're not illegal. They might be in bad taste.
Mm-hmm.
They might be politically motivated, but there are no actual violations of the law going on.
Got it.
You don't like what's going on? Vote. The way that works out. You don't like this president? There's a solution for it. 2 years from now, you get a new one.
There you go.
And if you get one from the same party, question is, did enough people feel your way? Sitting next to my partner, Craig Lind. Now, I've been talking for about the last couple of years about AI and the way the models are getting better and how entertainment is going to be as easy as us just saying, hey, Seinfeld season, do the next season. And everyone's going, Jeff, it's not going to be that good. It's not going to be that clean. I said, yeah, actors are going to sell their likenesses and you're going to have like the 50 best actors in an action movie redoing Die Hard 7. I mean, it's going to be amazing. Everyone's going, I don't believe it. Now that you've seen the Tom Cruise.
I didn't see the Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt video until just now. And I got to tell you, that is impressive. So I can make a movie right now. I can go to my computer, just tell AI, make me this movie, and it'll do it.
You can make scenes.
Oh, what kind of movie do we want to make, Jeff? I want to be the hero in my movie.
You want to be the hero.
And you'll be the villain.
So you could beat Vin Diesel.
Oh.
And remember this, Vin Diesel doesn't allow himself to get beaten in movies, but we can make one that way.
Oh.
You know, because in his riders, it says, no, I can't be knocked
we
down.
We don't care about his riders anymore. I don't need them anymore.
Now, Disney and Paramount are upset. They're already sending cease and desist to these companies in China. Sorry, that's a horrible Trump. But I mean, that's...
Let me know how that works out. Do they care? Can we do anything about it?
China don't care about nothing.
Yeah.
Slap another tariff on them, see if they care.
No,
Not
that's the
10
thing
seconds.
about laws. If you can't enforce the law, it's not really a law. It's just kind of a suggestion.
I want you to know something. We do have things made in China. Alibaba knocks out a bunch of stuff for us. And people are upset at us every once in a while. They go, why didn't you order American? I'm going to tell you why I didn't order some of our items from America is because what I contact an American company, I ask them how long, they go 6 weeks. I said, why is that? Well, that's how long it takes to manufacture. I said, all right, where are you manufacturing it?
Oh,
Then it gets quiet. They're just brokering it.
So we call the American company and they just farm it out to a Chinese company.
Yeah. Any promotional stuff like little keychains and stuff like that, that's just made and knocked off in China. Like metal keychains. We don't do metal keychains here. Nobody's knocking out a metal keychain with a logo and everything else, in Cleveland or something. It's all coming from China.
We used to do all that stuff here.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it not expensive in China? Oh, because they have slave labor?
Because they paid let's call it their labor costs are significantly less. But that happens. But I mean, you're not going to shut this down. You're not going to shut it down because these models, the AI models are getting better every month.
Yeah, that was impressive. I would have bet $1,000 that was a real movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt in it.
NVIDIA's new chips and new storage are so ridiculously unbelievable that you'll be able to knock this stuff out.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it takes more than 10 minutes to process in the future.
Oh, man, I can redo all the movies I don't like and have them end the way I want them.
Like Clint Eastwood
like
movies
every Stephen King movie ever. I can do the ending so that it's good.
Stop it.
No, they're great all the way up
until
until
how much heat we take
ending.
Every time you bust on Stephen King?
Oh, come on.
People love Stephen
He doesn't know how to end a book. He knows how to start one.
Christine was good.
Really well.
Christine
and he
was
knows
good.
how to do all the middle stuff really well. He just doesn't know how to cut it off.
You think the endings.
He doesn't know how to end it.
You know what I think it is about Stephen King? The stories are fantastic. The characters are amazing. I think they just go on too long sometimes.
He just wanders in the wood.
Like some of his books are like 1,200, 1,500 pages. And you can't put that in a 2-hour movie. So they have to pick and choose how long they want to get there.
That's the knock on him. His movies and his books, they all end terrible.
No, the books all move well. The problem is you can't fit a Stephen King book into a 2-hour movie.
That's why they need to do it Netflix style and just have a movie, but it's 6 hours.
They've streamed some of the stuff. Like they had the Stand.
6 1-hour episodes.
They had the Stand, which was but it's hard to get that anyway because it's so big.
But not anymore. It's not hard anymore. We just saw it.
So we think, hey, do me a favor, take the Stand, make it a movie, use the top 10 celebrities that I posted, put them in surprise roles at different ages. Because you could have Tom Hanks at 12.
Oh, I could put J.J. Walker from
Dynamite.
From Good Times.
Yeah.
He could be my main character.
Yeah. And here's the thing about the union. A lot of people didn't realize about the rights and everything else like that. In the new union rules, it says that actors have rights to their likeness. It doesn't say they can't sell it. Like, you know how a musician has sold their catalog, like for $500 million. Let's say Bill Murray's family when he dies. And Bill Murray, I think, has a rider in there that you can't sell his rights, but his family go, we need the money real bad. And some judge will go, oh, I see it, and we'll sell the rights for $400 million. And suddenly, Bill Murray is available to be used. And they'll, just like Beatles albums.
Did you see the commercial on the Super Bowl? The AI generated commercial?
Which one? I
think it was Subway. It was kind of a knock on Good Will Hunting. And Rachel from what's that? What was that show in the 90s called? Friends. Yeah. Rachel puts that guy, the quarterback, Tom Brady. Hey, how do you like those balls?
No, she goes, how do you like those nuts? That's what she said. How do you like these nuts instead of these apples?
Yeah. Oh, it was
great. How do you like these apples?
It was great.
Except they look weird. They're not.
You could tell.
They look apple-y, like wax on a fruit. When they young these people down, they shine too much.
Next year, you won't be able to see that.
I've always said that AI has a problem with flaws. That's why all the different kind of stuff they use when they animate things, they look too clean. Like Tom Hanks did that thing called the Polar Express, I think it was, and the characters looked really weird because it was too clean. And it was like these wax fruit characters walking around.
Yeah.
And I think
they were kind of showing off the technology, and it was like too good, distractingly
scary.
too good.
Scary good.
Like it's hard for me to pay attention to the movie because I keep noticing that everything's too perfect.
But I really look forward to it. I look forward to 5 years from now. I realize when I rewatch a series, like I'm watching Joss Whedon's Firefly right now again, and it was so good. And as you get older, you kind of forget what you saw 20 years ago. You go, this is a good show.
Yeah.
This is a good show. Now they're going to go, just redo it. Just redo Firefly. And you'll have brand new episodes all the time. And you're going, oh my God, this is so great. The entertainment is going to just be so fascinating. Now, the legalities, a little different. But it would be cool being able to go to a cinema and going, hey, we're playing my version of this movie.
That is a slippery slope because, and here's why. We are, and I agree with you, we are going to get to the point where I can just go to my computer and I can watch the movie that I want to watch based on some basic movie. And you can do the same thing, but we won't see the same movie when we do that. And then what do we have as a culture? Like movies are those things that we share as a culture. Songs are those things that we share as a culture. Now everybody's just creating their own songs and creating their own movies and creating their own stories. Mm-hmm. Now there's nothing for us to share.
And this is what it's going to be. There's going to be a revolution. They're going to be the people who are caught locked into their media, and then the people who are boycotting it, where they go, listen, I don't watch TV. I play chess. I go back and I do all the old school things. You know, I don't have
before there was a TV, before there was a radio.
It's going to be interesting. And a lot of artistic people are going to be upset about this, creative people. But it's just an evolution. Well, remember the silent movies had actors that had terrible voices.
Well,
and they couldn't translate over. And I think it's just going to change.
It removes a huge talent bar to entering these fields. Like now people who can't draw at all can make comic books. They don't need to know how to draw.
You shut your mouth.
Oh, did I touch on a sensitive subject?
Yeah.
Jeff, I can make a comic book now.
I don't like it.
I would have never been able to make a comic book before.
I don't like it.
I can just tell AI to describe the scene, and then I can say, all right, now put these chat bubbles in, have this character say that, have this character say this, and now all of a sudden, I, with no artistic ability whatsoever, have a great comic book.
People have it, but you know something? There are already big issues dealing with that. For example, Comic-Con has outlawed all AI art. They're not allowing any AI art into the convention. How do you know it's AI? That's a good question.
But some people, like, what they do as their art is they take pictures and they edit them in such a way. So like if I take a famous photo of like a Mona Lisa and I make it black and white and then I put some different colors in it, I am an artist, right? Am I not? I'm changing the image.
You're altering it.
And I'm presenting it to people like, look, this is my version of Mona Lisa. Is that AI? I mean, it is kind of. It's not the Mona Lisa, but here's what I think.
It's a problem. It's a problem. And I think
and it's weird that Comic-Con would say no to the huge development of art.
There's a huge backlash right now. People are hating it. And what I hate is the idea of this, and I'm selfish. I'm doing it from my point of view. As a comic book writer, I know when I write a scene and I do this, I take these ideas and I take them into places that, you know, naturally I use my experience and my thing. But these models have been trained using every writer. Every book that's ever been written is sitting in there, and they're going right in the style of Mark Twain, Stephen King, and Wes Craven.
Yeah.
And it'll put all those three together.
You know what's sad though, Jeff? What's going to happen is that nobody is going to pursue perfecting a craft. Nobody is going to sit down when they're 14. I'm talking about 10, 15 years from now. No one who's 14 in that future world is going to sit down and go, I need to learn how to draw. I need to learn how to play the guitar. I need to learn how to do this thing so that I can get better at it, so that I can have people see my art. There's not going to be any audience for that anymore.
It's painful. I was just talking
with a computer can compose a Mozart quality symphony.
I was just talking to a producer friend of mine named AO, and he's done a lot of Grammy Award winning stuff. We talked about the technology and how there are 15 people on every album and everything else like that, and how basically AI is creating music from scratch. And the AI stuff,
Did you
is
hear
pretty
my
good.
AI music creation?
Yes, I heard
It was pretty good, right?
Yeah. You have the ability to write a prompt.
Yes. I thought it was pretty good. No, but I take, is it weird that I take pride in that I came up with the prompt that produced
I think you're
that?
amused by it. I think you're ridiculously amused
ridiculously
by it.
amused,
I don't think
yes.
you're proud of it. I think you're amused by it. You're going, ooh, I was able to cheat the system so badly.
Yeah,
and look what I've got.
Yeah, and I can actually, it's technically my song.
I've used AI, for example, when I was designing the back of a shirt for one of our bowling shirts. And our producer, Dave, is a ridiculously talented guy. And he's good with graphics and everything else. And he has pride in creating things. Well, using about, I think it was like maybe a 2-sentence prompt, the image that came out was rock star good. And I go, well, here, work with this.
That's the exact point I was making.
Yeah.
But now the Daves in the world are not going to hone their craft.
No.
We are all going to forget how to do everything. Oh, we're doomed.
We'll know how to edit.
We are doomed.
We have to know the edit. We have to know.
No one's going to know how to draw.
size.
No one's going to know how to paint. Nobody's going to know how to shoot from a particular angle anymore. It's just going to.
No, I think you got to learn some of the basics. Like how to edit. That's always a thing because AI is a convincing liar. That's what it is.
All you got to learn is to tell the computer what you want. That's the extent of your knowledge now.
You have to have an eye for it. Like, for example, like when we talk about negative space and things like that, you have to understand that because AI might not get that. Hey, do me a favor, get rid of the negative space on the left side. Some people don't know how it's centered. They don't know shots. Hey, I need the left shot, the right shot, have the camera floating away. I mean, there's still going to be decisions to be made. And edits. Hey, change this around. Do it from the right side. Do it from the back side. So there'll always be some creativity in that you're going to want to fix something. But you are right. A lot of the heavy lifting is going to go away. And the legal challenges and the lawsuits. Today we have actor Charles Baker. Charles, can you hear me, man?
Yes, I can. How you doing, Jeff?
One of the things I love most about actors is they never know what show's going to hit and not hit. And you go from Breaking Bad and you go, well, I got a shot on this show called The Pit. What's the odds of me, lightning striking twice?
Right. Yeah, that's. I really didn't think it would happen. I thought Breaking Bad was going to be the thing, and to be able to get to do that, and also I went from Breaking Bad to The Blacklist on NBC, and then several things in between, and then here we are on The Pit, and I've just it's amazing. I'm just so lucky.
Why don't you, that's the thing about acting. You never know what's going to hit. I mean, you've been doing a lot of stuff over many years. I mean, you're basically a military brat traveling around, and then you tell your dad, I mean, how tough was that conversation? Dad, I want to be an actor.
Yeah, that ended violently. He was, and it took me a really long time to, really kind of understand that it was, out of fear for, what, how are you going to support yourself? How are you going to live? How are you going to, don't you want to have a family someday? And that kind of weighed on me. He wanted me to go to West Point, and I wanted to be an actor. And so we conflicted over that. And it wasn't until Breaking Bad came out that he kind of went, maybe you were right. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that wasn't for you. So yeah, he kind of pushed both my older brothers into military service, and both of them ended up with dishonorable discharges because they were not meant for that, and I didn't want to fall into that same trap.
Military's tough. I was in the Army 3 years, and the Army will take a lot of your personality away from you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of conformity, and I was an actor going into the Army, and I can tell you it took a lot of individuality out of you. And I could understand how tough it would be for you to make that choice going, hey, listen, I'm a very personable guy. I love the military, but I don't think it's for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always been an artist. I'm a lover, not a fighter, and that's My dad was commander at Fort Knox, Kentucky, when I was 8, 9 years old, and I went through basic training then. I went through all of that. I knew how to. I've seen all of that. He took me to the Middle East when I was 10 years old, and I saw war firsthand. I saw the devastation, the terror, and lived, slept in bomb shelters and in bunkers, and at one point had to flee the country. It was not something I wanted in my life to ever have to experience again. And the idea of taking another life is just beyond me. I couldn't imagine.
Now, my daughter's an actor, and I bring this up because, I know she hasn't had the experiences I've had. So when she has to go pull a role out or a tough thing or cry or something, like I told her, I said, I can cry whenever I want. I've seen death. I can pull that off. And, growing up the way you did, I mean, I can't imagine how many times you pull from that when it comes time to be on set.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, there's so many like skills that I gained, not necessarily great skills. How to survive torture has helped, working on shows where I'm wearing full prosthetics on my face, and Jim Carrey talks about it with The Grinch on how he had to go through torture survival training techniques from the military in order to endure that. And I totally understand that, because it's a lot like that. And it also, traveling around the world helped me understand, I think, people better and societies better and cultures better, and have a better understanding of the extreme diverse humanity that is abundant in this world, and it's not all black and white as everyone would seem to prefer it to be.
Yeah, I get that. I can see how tough sometimes it is to go when you get a role and you go, okay, I'm going to pull from this, or when you're auditioning, I'm going to pull from that. Now, you get the opportunity to do the pit. I mean, is that an audition, or do they even give you anything on that?
Yeah, it was an audition. I actually sent 2 tapes in. One tape, I did the same character twice. One I did very timid and very kind, and the other one I did just almost vile and mean, using the exact same script. And I think that might have helped, because this character is bipolar. But we see, in the show, it's only one day in the life of all these characters. And so we get to see John Digby on a good day, I guess, relative for a guy who has schizophrenia and is bipolar. Yeah, it's very interesting to kind of put that skin on and play that role for a while.
Mental health is tough. I mean, especially in today's world where you're just seeing so much of it. And, getting that right for you as an actor, also being aware that, people are going to be going, oh, is he making fun of this? Is this real? I mean, I can't imagine that responsibility.
Yeah, it's a thin tightrope to try and tread. Luckily, the writers are amazing on the show. The directors are incredible, and they will tell you, hey, pull that back a little bit, going too much, or hey, maybe give us a little more of this. And it takes a team to really kind of make sure that that's done right, and hopefully we pull it off.
You just mentioned something that I ask a lot of actors when I get the opportunity to talk to them. And that is, how do you want to be directed? When a director gives you, people give you notes, people say these things. I mean, do you go, okay, I get that? Or you go, I don't know, I think I've got it.
I trust the directors that I work with. It's an interesting gig being a guest actor. A lot of people talk about, being a temporary worker is like being the new character on the fifth season of a show, and I'm like, well, that's what I am. I'm always the new character on a new season of a show, and I come in, and it's you're kind of an outsider, and you're just expected to do, the best you can. And a lot of times, and this is not a complaint, but a lot of times directors, they don't want to have to work with the guest stars.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to say, give me specific directions. They prefer that I come in with my ideas, and do what I do. And if typically the only time I get spoken to by directors about my performance is if I'm doing it wrong, and if I'm doing it right, I don't hear anything. But it's a collaborative effort, and I had a stage director I worked with for 6 years, and he had a lot of really good colloquialisms, but one of my favorites, one that I got from him, was, "You're not Clint Eastwood. You can't see what you're doing on camera, on stage. You can't see what your performance is. That's what directors are for, because we can see what you're doing, and I'm telling you that's wrong." And that was an important part of it. It's like, I am not Clint Eastwood. I can't just go, "Yep, that was perfect," and walk on. I have a lot of self-doubt about what I'm doing, and a lot of that imposter syndrome that a lot of actors have. And I do my best to just kind of ignore it and trust the process, and trust that no director worth his salt is gonna let me make me look like a fool on camera and hurt their production.
Yeah, they don't want to hurt their product. No,
right.
I get that.
So yeah, if they say that's good, I go, okay, fine, that's good. If they say, hey, can we do another one where you're, a little less, or you're a little more, or however they want to say it, a lot of times I'm just happy to get any kind of direction, quite frankly. So.
The one thing I always find interesting is that you come on as a sub character, as a guest. Basically, you think you're going to do 1-2 shows most, and you catch on. How do you find out? Does your agent call you, or do they talk to you on the set? Hey, we might want to keep you on a little longer. Like in Breaking Bad, when they're going, I might do a couple, and suddenly you're going, wait a minute, I'm on this show a little bit.
It's tough. It's a business. That's the first thing you have to understand. And if an information can sometimes be used as a negotiation tactic, and a lot of times they don't want to tell you, hey, yeah, we're going to bring you back later. Because then you have that as a negotiation, like, oh, you plan to bring me back? Oh, then maybe bring up some more money. And I don't want to gossip out of turn, but like on Breaking Bad, I've had a producer come up to me and tell me that every episode you do is your audition for your next episode. And so if we don't bring you back, you'll know why. And that's the reality of the situation. You're brought on a show with the Pit. They originally came out and said, we have about 5 episodes that we know you're going to do. So be prepared. We aren't going to guarantee you that you're going to get 5 episodes, but we have an idea for 5 episodes. So that's what we'd like to hire you for. I ended up doing 12 for of the 15. Sometimes just in the background because of the way the show is shot and set up. And it was just they kind of just call me as we go. And so like maybe a week or 2 before the next episode, I would get an email going, hey, we'd like to offer you another episode. Would you like to do this? And I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. And I think, because of the prestige of the show, and same with Breaking Bad, after a while, a lot of times they'll go, you can just wait and just find out. We'll tell you later. If you aren't available, you won't get to do it. So it's up to you if you want to be available or not. And you're kind of left in that. Well, do I look for other jobs while I'm in between episodes, or do I just kind of take a deep breath and relax and hope that they're going to keep bringing me back? And so luckily they kept bringing me back.
It's a tough thing for families and everything else and relationships. And, I was talking to somebody on Chicago Med the other day, and they're from Australia, and he had to tell his family overnight, yeah, we're moving to Chicago. And it's a tough, it's such a privilege, but at the same time, you're going, where am I going to be living for the next, year or a couple months? And I don't even know if I should rent, should I buy? I mean, how much energy goes into that thought process? Are you just going, hey, I'm grateful to be working?
Yeah, I am grateful to be working, but like my family and I've had the discussion, like, it hasn't happened yet where I've had a role where I've had to move to another state because I'm a guest star, so I come in maybe 2-3 times and then I'm done typically. But there have been auditions, there have been opportunities like this may end up being a series regular. If you get the part, you're going to have to move to New York City or to Chicago or to wherever we're shooting for the time that we're shooting. And I talked to my kids, my wife, and they're like, well, we aren't moving with you. We love it here. We've got friends, family, everything here. We're set up. So if you go move to New York for a year to shoot a show, we'll come visit and you can come visit us, but we aren't picking up. We're not going to pick up the whole family and move to a new state for every job you get. I totally understand that. I personally, if that were to happen, if I were to get a series regular job in another state, I would most likely buy an apartment or a condo, some small space for myself, just as kind of an investment to bring me to use for later in life. And I think that would be my goal. Like I said, hasn't happened yet, but got the plan going.
I got the dream. The dream's there. I think it's such a cool thing. When you're an actor, you never know what opportunity is going to come to you. I mean, I host shows, I do this, and about 5 years ago from hosting radio shows and everything else, like, hey, why don't you try to do stand-up? And like this weekend, I'll be performing in Vegas. And I go, how does that even happen where you're going, you go from this to this to this? And I mean, you're doing voice acting, you're dubbing, cartoons and anime. Mm-hmm. I mean, when that offer, you go, what do you want me to do? And you go, yeah, sure, I'll do it.
Yeah. That's always been kind of the entertainer's journey. It's like, you just say yes to everything, get whatever. I got that when I was studying music in high school. I was a voice major, but in college. But in high school, at a school in England, I was offered an opportunity to play keyboards for a band, and it was a heavy metal band. And I said, why would you want keyboards for a heavy metal band? You wouldn't even be able to hear the keyboards. And I was kind of on the fence. And my music director heard that, and he said, you're a musician, you're an artist. You take every opportunity you can get. You never know where that opportunity is going to take you. This is a chance for you to perform live, to get experience, to learn how to work with other people. Take what you can get, especially when you're starting. And then, once you get established, then you can start being a little more picky about what you're going to do. But you aren't in a place to be picky right now. So take what you can get and get everything you can out of it. Learn as much as you can, use that experience. And then, if you decide you want something else, move on later. But what's it going to hurt to try?
Now, I kind of loved one thing about Breaking Bad was I had heard this rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not, that somebody heard you playing, they found out you could play keyboards, and they go, hey, we're going to write this into the show because he has this gift. I mean, how does that even happen?
Well, the writers were really smart. One of them told me, what we watch all the actors, we follow them on social media. We watch them when they're not on set, and we listen for clues that we can use to help ground their character, to help make them, add more depth to them. And so I heard that, and I was like, well, I got to show off all my skills. And if I could have brought a unicycle to the set and ridden around on a unicycle, you might have seen Skinny Pete riding a unicycle, because that was one of those skills that I had at the time. But yeah, we were shooting in a church for the Narcotics Anonymous scenes, and we took a break, and there was a piano in the room. And first, Matt Jones started playing the piano, and then he stepped away, and I stepped up and started playing. And just as I started playing, a writer walked by, and you could see them walking and just kind of stop and turn and look, and then walked off. And then a few months later, I get a call going, "Hey, what songs can you play? Which songs would you be willing to play?" And I sent them a list of all the songs that I thought I might be able to pass off as being pretty good, and they came back with the song that they used, "Solfeggiato" by Carl Emanuel Philipp Bach, and they went, "Play this one." And I went, "Absolutely." I honestly, when they asked me if I would play, I was like, "I will play, I will sing, I'll write my own music for this. What do you want?" And they're like, "No, just calm down.
Yeah.
We just want you to play a piano piece." And so, yeah, I jumped on it. It was, but it's such a great way to develop a character. I mean, it's like, why, instead of going, "Hey, can you learn how to juggle in 3 days?"
Yeah.
Like, no, I can't. But
I can if I can.
I could try.
I could try, yes.
But yeah, taking skills that they already have and using those to your benefit, that's just smart. And I'm really glad I got that opportunity.
Well, I tell you, Charlie, I've loved everything about this interview. I love talking to somebody who has had this great journey, and they're still fighting the good fight. So I look forward to talking to you again.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it, Jeff.
You take care.
Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.